I am creative. We lost our sense of joy after my mother's Alzheimer's diagnosis and didn't know how to reach her anymore. What I witnessed at the JF&CS Memory Cafe was not what I was used to when interacting with people with Alzheimer's. There was joyful noise and joyful movement. Participants sang and danced, some standing, some sitting, and all feeling safe and happy. It was amazing.
I am empowered. I was a victim of domestic abuse. JF&CS gave me the emotional and financial assistance I needed to deal with my husband's abusive behavior during and after our divorce. They were there to help me and my children move forward with our lives. Ultimately, the experience inspired me to go to law school so I could help others in a similar situation. Now, as a family law attorney, the most gratifying part of my work is empowering people through the legal system. I will always be grateful to JF&CS for the help they gave me, and I appreciate the opportunity to give back to victims of domestic abuse through the Journey to Safety Reduced Fee legal program.
I am optimistic. I was so glad that I could stop in on Tuesday for the moms group. Listening to the other participants, I reflected on how far I've come. When I started attending, I didn't know when I'd ever feel better or even what better would look like. But I can say that I'm happy to be where I am now. I'm very thankful that JF&CS was there when I needed help the most.
I am valued. Although it sounded great, I was concerned that Kids Connection Corner wouldn't work for my daughter Haley because she is very low functioning and her needs are so complex. It was hard to imagine leaving her for 3 hours with people I didn't know. But when I picked up Haley after the first session, it was clear she was having a blast. As I took her hand to walk back to our car, she turned and waved and said goodbye to the group several times. Other kids and adults waved back at Haley. She was beaming.
I am supportive. There are so many benefits of being with a group of people who understand what it's like to care for someone with Parkinson's disease. We bring up things that are going on in our lives, and it's like opening the floodgates. Someone says something, and the rest of us open up and share on that topic. For me, that's a really important part of the Parkinson's Care Partners group, sharing the feelings, sharing the difficulties, and sharing the things we really wouldn't feel as comfortable sharing with people who don't have that common experience.
I am resilient. When you're in recovery, people can be very judgmental. There is a sense of shame in asking certain parenting questions. People in recovery get answers like, "You would know this if you hadn't relapsed." Project Nest makes me feel less ashamed. I can ask questions I otherwise wouldn't ask out of fear that my words could be used against me. I know my daughter and I will have a better life because of this program. Project Nest is helping me be the mother I always knew I could be.
I am giving. The HighWorks volunteers have been awesome. The servers have all been pleasant, consistent, and extremely helpful. We try to teach our Maimonides school students to understand our differences and learn about people who have challenges they haven't experienced themselves. This is a fantastic opportunity to have these individuals come and share their stories, while the kids learn that no matter what their difference is, people should be treated the same.
I am independent. My son Mike had gone through a period of real growth, and we all agreed that it was time to start thinking about how he could live on his own. We didn't know where to begin, so we turned to JF&CS. They helped us find the resources to put Mike on a path to independence. Like any parent, I worry about the day when I'm not there to care for my son. But when I hear about the work he's doing with his case manager and see how he is thriving where he lives, I feel much more confident about the future.
I am caring. Over the years, people have come in and out of our adoption play group, but the core 5 of us have remained. While we all know how important and wonderful it is for our kids to have each other, to know other children whose families are like theirs, I think we have remained close for another, just as important reason. We have been with each other from the beginning, when motherhood was only a hope. We now live through the uncertainties as well as the joys of parenting with each other. We have become more than a waiting support group, more than an adoption play group. We have become family.
I am engaged. When I looked around the Hanukkah celebration, everyone was smiling and enjoying themselves, including my mother, who rarely goes out. She discovered that she lives in the same town as another guest at the party, and they exchanged phone numbers so they can stay in touch and visit each other. I am delighted that my mother made a new friend.
I am connected. Thelma attended the Shabbat program I lead at her nursing home. A stroke had left her unable to speak, but she was still able to understand me and connect with my words, her Jewish community, and her Jewish heritage. As the Shabbat program progressed, I noticed that she was weeping. I asked, "Were you touched by the prayers?" She nodded and wrapped her arms around herself to show me how she felt as the tears fell from her eyes. She continued to cry as she clasped my hands together and touched them to her heart. She didn't need words to express herself, and we both had a moment of profound connection.